Okay, to kind of keep my pops going. And then I am going to switch to the apron because I was making a little bit of something, which some of you all are going to moan and groan when you see what it is. But I don't really care because today would have been my mom's 83rd birthday, and she wanted you all to have to eat this. I'm just kidding. She would have loved for you all to eat this. So 2 weeks ago, we talked, yes, Melinda, water. Yes, love water. And yes, it's very pretty actually with the blue hearts and the water sprinkles. Yes, Carol, you can quit being psychic. You already know what my mom would have wanted you all to eat, and I even cut it the shape that she cuts it. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, sorry, I'm going to need another, and yep, Vicki, you're right. So 2 weeks ago, we were talking about why you might choose purple, and it only makes sense that this week we would talk about blue. I don't know why it makes sense, but it only makes sense that we would talk about blue this week. I think it also makes sense that we talk about the elephant in the room. So the elephant in the room is the impending planned change. And hello, Jean. I mentioned your name in the first half, so you're going to have to go back and watch it. But the elephant that's in the room is the impending planned change. So every 2 years at this time, WW either launches a new plan or they tweak the current plan. It might be a minor change. It might be there might be a handful of cases that it's a Rita's saying hello because she's been baking and listening. And boy, I hope my voice is not going to start going. We may have to break in that cough drop, but I'll let you know. But anyway, so every 2 years, WW makes either a minor change or in a handful of cases over the 25 years that I've been doing this, it's a major change to the plan. And first, just like I told you 2 years ago, and every time before that, breathe. Just breathe. It's just a plan change. It's okay. It is okay. Nobody needs to, go in. Okay, we may have to break out the cough drop. Nobody needs to go into hiding or, I don't know. Just keep doing what you're doing. There's nothing you need to change before November. Nothing that you need to change before November. So just remain calm. Just breathe, Okay. So if you like it, try it. Excuse me. So if you like it, try it. You might like it. And if you don't like it, and Melinda, I will say, so Melinda says she's been nosy and she's been Googling it. Okay, I'm going to tell you why you can't trust everything that you've seen, that you've Googled. Okay, but so first of all, breathe. First, breathe. Second of all, try it. I mean, whatever it is, try it. You might like it. And if you don't, you've got enough skills to fall back on. Okay, so don't panic. There's no reason to panic. Plus, it's not here yet. So again, chillax. It's not here yet. We've still got a few weeks left before we even know what it is. And the rumors flying around are just that. They're just rumors. So I can promise you, anybody that works for WW or that works with WW has signed an extensive confidentiality agreement that they would lose their job if they spill the beans. So I hope this is not a sign of things to come. But anyway, they would lose their jobs if they spilled the beans, okay? But WW, what I do know is WW is serious about testing. They are serious about trying, and they are serious about working out the bugs before they ever introduce as many bugs as possible before they ever introduce anything, to us. So what they're doing behind the scenes is making sure that whatever this is, that the leaders know how to explain it, that they've tried it, that they know whether or not they like it, that they've worked kinks out of it, that you know what I mean? The bugs are worked out. So just give them some space. Don't crowd them either, because they're trying to learn this too, so that they can do the very best job helping you and knowing whether or not they believe in it before it ever happens. Okay. Oh, I hope this is not going to start. Anyway, so again, just breathe. Just breathe. It's going to happen. Okay, but I do have some theories about this, like I did last time. So these are unknown. I'm so sorry. We'll stop for just a second. I may actually have to go get a touch of honey. I'm so sorry for coughing into the microphone. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. So I so apologize, everybody. Start coughing. I do have some theories, just like I did last time, though. They're unknown. I haven't asked anybody. Nope. Gonna have to go get another cough drop. So sorry. Remain calm. Dusty will be here, and I'll try not to talk. And I don't have another cough drop. Don't have another cough drop. Awesome. Yes. Debbie can talk to y'all about the pink wine glass sitting on the shelf while I try to get some warm beverage. Y'all just chat about that. And now is when I wish microphone didn't work. Okay, and it's literally just my voice. I am not sick. And thank you very much, Debbie. Okay. Let's see if we can get through this. Okay. So, I do have some theories like I did last time. They're unknown. I haven't asked anybody to verify these, nor would they. Even if I asked, would they verify it? I haven't seen, heard, been divulged to anything to verify or even entertain these ideas, okay? They're just my thoughts. So, from the topics that we have shared over the last couple of months, the new groups that I've seen form on Connect, and the sudden presence of the new MyWW Plus personal assessment on the homepage of www.com. My theories for this week are, these are just theories, remember? So it's not, I know, yeah, Melinda said the microphones will usually work when we don't want them to and not when we do, okay. But so my current theories as of this week are, theory number one, I think it will be even more, the plans will be even more personalized. So when WW switched to blue, green, and purple plans, that was the first time ever that they were personalized to the way that you eat today, and you could change it up for how you may eat tomorrow, or next week, or next year. Theory number two, I think it'll be about what you will eat versus what you should eat. So we have a lot of people on here who eat very limited amounts of vegetables, or don't have time to cook, things like that. So I think it's going to be more about what you will eat versus what you should eat. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I believe I believe the new plan will somehow work around the meal preppers and the eater outers, both, as well as the veggie lovers and the picky eaters. Theory three, I think the point values will be calculated differently. I don't know how, I don't know why, but my gut tells me that there's a change coming on the way that they're calculated. Theory number four, even though I like things in threes, health and wellness I think will be an even bigger focus this time, even bigger. So based on my gut feelings, I decided to still spend a few weeks chatting about the current plan. So I know some of you are thinking, Kelly, that's a complete waste of time. Why are we talking about the current plan? I heard that blue, green, and purple are going away, or that avocados and nuts are going to be zero now. Okay, I'm just kidding. That's a pop dream. Or if I'm diabetic, vegetarian, have high blood pressure, whatever, fill in the blank, that I'll be on a completely different plan than you. So I think I still want to talk about the current plans though, because I think we'll be asked, I think on this new survey, I think we're going to be asked to think about what we eat, when we eat it, how long, how we get to the point of eating it, in a way that only makes sense, that we review what we're doing now. That way we can have an I know, Debbie, I'm just kidding. I don't think avocados are going to be zero, but I've had 3 people this week say that they don't like avocados, even though they're zero. And I'm like, avocados are not zero. So unless you know something I don't know about what's coming up, avocados are not zero. I wish so. But anyway, so I think it's smart that we review what we've been doing so we can be prepared for what we're getting ready to do, whatever it is. And I'll try to finish this. Okay. So if you're still with me, okay, WW My Way Blue is the previous freestyle plan. This one was a good middle of the road for me after having so much success on Points Plus. So I had great success on Points Plus, but freestyle was a good, middle of the road for me. It gave me just enough points to play with, so that I could have things like skim, because I love skim milk. In case you didn't know that, I love skim milk. So it gave me just enough points to play with things like skim milk. And I lost my place. Things like skim milk and eating out and things like that. But not so much freedom to go wild eating unlimited brown rice and sweet potatoes as Simply Filling did, for me. So why is blue different? Blue's different because nothing is free. So that's the same as purple and going to be the same as green. Nothing's free, 0 points versus free. It makes me really think about what I'm eating. There are over 200 0-point foods on blue. I'm having 200 named things, like things that are named. Deborah, you're not missing anything, you're just missing me coughing. But having 200 named things that are 0 points. So it gives you a selection of things to choose from, like corn, beans, and non-starchy vegetables. So it's a very big 0-point list. There are more recipes. I think there are way more recipes to choose from on blue from people like, there are more things on the app to choose from, I think, that are blue. And you get a minimum, they're friendly on blue, and your family will eat them. So there are so many things on blue that your family wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even know that it was, Weight Watchers things. There are a minimum of 24 daily points plus rollovers to enjoy things that are going to round out your satisfaction. So you've got a few extra points if you need to spend them on some things. And the blue plan can be used, again, for as little as a week, or you can use it for a lifetime. And it's for people who have families that are not ready to join that big veggie bandwagon, like, or tofu bandwagon, like you might on purple. So why might somebody choose blue? I think anybody that's trying to balance health and weight loss, so not just weight loss, but health also, with more whole foods to hashtag bulk it up. If you need to hashtag bulk it up some convenience items, then, I think blue's a good plan for you. You might need to use those from time to time. Families, if you have a family, I think blue is a great plan to follow because you don't have to cook one meal for yourself and then another meal for all of them. I promise you, most of the recipes that I have found on blue, or that I have used on blue, or on the old freestyle program, everybody ate, and nobody had any clue that they were eating, Weight Watchers or eating diet food, or whatever you want to call it. My air fryer candy corn recipe is still 0 points on blue, and trust me, even picky spouses are going to love it. They're going to love it. It's awesome. Then those of you that like to do a little meal prep, but you don't have a whole lot of time, you've got maybe a Sunday afternoon, maybe one night a week, then, that's great. You just have an hour or two to spend in the kitchen. That I think blue is a great plan for you because you don't have to spend a lot of time meal planning, but, you can meal plan a little bit. I did more cook ahead and freeze it, which is another reason I'm excited about getting these super, whatever those things are called, little trays that you freeze things in. But again, air fryer roasted veggies are always a good one. Soups, bento style box meals. So I don't mean a bento box like go to Chinese or Japanese and get a bento box. I mean like a bento box style meal where you might put, some olives and a little bit of meat and some cheese, some vegetables or some fruit, or something like that in a bento box style. That works great. I mean, fantastically on Blue. Frozen meals with frozen veggies to hashtag bulk them up are perfect time savers when you need to stay on track but you don't have a lot of time. Those are perfect on Blue because you have those extra few little points or extra few points a day that you can use for things like that. Your perfect Blue pantry. So again, I mean, these are things that are the basis of a Blue fridge or pantry. Some of the things are the same as they were on, on Purple. Chicken or turkey breast, whole or ground, is a great idea. Frozen grilled chicken, fish, shrimp. We talked about that last week. Canned beans. You can still have canned beans of all kinds on Blue. You can still do that. You can do canned green beans, corn. You can still have corn. It's still 0 points. You can have corn on any plant, but corn is still 0 points. This is what I use to make my candy corn, and that recipe is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. But corn is 0 points on Blue. No salt seasonings, fresh fruit, bananas. I always tout, fresh fruit. You still have a huge list of 200 item list on Blue. Seasonal vegetables, spaghetti squash, mushrooms. People are talking a lot about delicata squash. Fresh leafy greens, things like baby kale. And I had a bunch of people tell me this week that they hate kale. I think you hate overgrown, huge, stalky kale. I think that's what you hate. If you haven't ever tried baby kale, it is fantastic. And this is what I'm going to be using for my supper this week. I'll show y'all in a few minutes what I'm going to do with that. But leafy greens, those are great. Frozen fruits and vegetables are always a great time. Frozen convenience meals but you need to check the points though before you put them in your cart. So just because it says healthy choice, lean cuisine, smart points, whatever, just because it says those things on the outside of it, check the points before you bring it into your house or to work. I had one that I grabbed across the street at Food City months ago. It's still sitting in there because I did not scan it before I bought it. And when I got back over here, I was like, dang it, I could have had the one that was beef tips and whatever for less points than this. So I haven't eaten it. But anyway, frozen meals are a great idea to bulk things up. Tofu. Tofu is still 0 points on Blue. Plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Or, I've had so many of y'all tell me this week that you don't like plain non-fat Greek yogurt. You have a couple of extra points a day. You could get commercially prepared yogurt in all the flavors that you love. You could eat it that way because you have those extra few points a day. And you can stock ingredients for lighter point muffins or breads, like because you have those extra few points a day from like Pound Dropper or Drizzle Me Skinny. They've got some great recipes on their websites. As always, nutritional yeast and olive oil. I will always have those on the pantry list. Okay, perfect Blue recipes. The first one I'm going to show you, the first one I'm going to make you all eat. I'm going to eat it for you, but the first one I'm going to show you in honor of my mother's 83rd birthday, what would have been her 83rd birthday. She loved tofu. So she was not always a vegan. She became a vegan later in life. Oh, I forgot things like, applesauce, convenience items like applesauce. And always going to talk about salmon, tuna, things like that. And I cannot talk enough about these La Banderita, the carb counter tortillas. These are fantastic. They're so good. Okay, but anyway, so my mom was not always vegan. She became vegan later in life after some health scares and health issues. And so one of her very favorite things after she became vegan was tofu. And so I know a lot of you all are like, oh, tofu, I can't stand it. It's horrible. Okay, tofu is like an egg. If you have an egg, you have hope. So if you have tofu, you have hope. But tofu is like an egg. If you don't know how to properly prepare it, it's just blah. Right, Mindy? It's just blah. Okay? It's just an empty canvas. You've got to do something to it. So, we always squeezed ours. So you notice I have people all the time that tell me you don't have to squeeze your tofu. I'm a squeezer. I'm a tofu squeezer. My mom taught me to squeeze it, so I'm going to squeeze it. So I get extra firm tofu unless I'm making something that requires silken. I never just get regular firm tofu. It's always either extra firm or it's silken. That's the only two kinds that I get. You drain the package, put it on a paper towel, on a plate, and put it on there. Put some more paper towels on top and put a heavier plate on top. to get as much of the moisture out as you can. And then you slice it this way. So you're going to slice it in half that way. And then my mom always cut it into triangles. So I've already cut these into triangles, and I have some in the air fryer to finish for you all. But this is the way my mom cut it. You can cut it into cubes, you can cut it into whatever shapes you want to, but mom always cut hers in little triangles. So that's the way that I cut mine. And then my most frequent thing to mix it with, sometimes I stir fry it, sometimes I make it in the air fryer. Just depends on, what I'm going to be eating with it. But this week for dinner, I'm going to be making salads with the baby kale. Guess I better get that going. Is tofu high in carbs? Never really thought about it. Literally never thought about it, Carol. Let me finish this real quick, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to eat with it. But you cut it into the little cubes, or you can cut it into the triangles, whatever you want to do. And then I always spritz it with some olive oil or some sesame oil. I always add nutritional yeast to it. For this one, I added Bragg liquid aminos to it, which is not low in sodium. I can't answer that question. And I added some Dax citrus groove to that. It's already cooked. So you cook this in your air fryer. You cook it on 350 for 15 minutes. It's already cooked for 10 because I couldn't wait the whole 15 minutes. So you cook it for 5. Then you shake it and cook it for 10 more and shake it a couple of times. So it's going to be on 350. It would have been on 15 minutes, but I already cooked it 10 of the 15 just so that we could be ready. But this week for dinners, and Deborah, it's so good. It's so good. Cook it this way. I promise you, it's gonna be delicious and fantastic. So this week for dinners, I'm gonna take some baby kale because baby kale is so much better than that big overgrown kale. Baby kale, chickpeas, which are still just 0. This would be really good with salmon too, but they did not have any. The salmon across the street looked gross, so I didn't get any. But baby kale, chickpeas, which are still 0, some fat-free feta cheese that I got at Trader Joe's that I do not have here with me, that, and then the tofu. And then for the dressing, I am using, we looked at this 2 weeks ago, I'm using the G. Hughes sugar-free Asian miso dressing, and it's so good. It's so good. And yes, Loretta, tofu tastes like whatever you cooked it with. So it is literally an open canvas. You can make it taste like, Trish says, is tofu is high in protein, low in carbs. That makes sense. I mean, that makes sense to me. I can tell you my mom ate it constantly. She ate it like almost every day. And I understand not everybody can have tofu, but she could have it. Okay, so other things though, some other blue recipes that are fantastic. That man's chicken. If you just make the regular that man's chicken with the thighs, it is fantastic and amazing. And since the thighs have extra points, but you have a few extra points a day. Deviled eggs. Instead of just making hard-boiled eggs, you can make deviled eggs. Your baby would love those. They would love you for that. Breakfast bento bowls. Slap some bacon in there. They'll eat anything. They'll eat anything that has bacon on it. Air fryer baked apples. So I made, 8 of those this week, I guess. But if you're on blue, you got some extra points. Unless I just had you spend them all. But you have some extra points. Put some Halo Top or something, lot of ice cream on top of that. My Mel's Mexican chicken casserole recipe that's on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So chock full of cheese. Nobody in your family is going to know that it doesn't have rice in it. And then air fryer tofu, anything, which I'm going to show you that when it gets finished. Some things that you can eat blue on the go. I'm going to do the same list that I did last week. Batman's turkey tenderloin. Always good for on the go, and it's still 0 points on blue. Air fryer hard-boiled eggs, still 0 points on blue. Convenience stores still get things like hard-boiled eggs, bananas, flavored water, snack cheese, pickles, veggie snack packs, things like that. Drive-through and drive-in, it's my same list, same as the purple list, and I know those are the same, but they're just so good. They're so good. Chick-fil-A grilled chicken nuggets in a fruit cup. From Chipotle, you can get lettuce, fajita vegetables, salsa, pinto beans chicken, Cracker Barrel, grilled chicken tenderloins, or the grilled catfish, green beans, pinto beans, and seasonal fruit. IHOP simple and fit omelet with the fresh fruit, and from Wendy's, a plain baked potato and small chili with light sour cream. So those are perfect. So I do know Some of you are sensitive to soy, or some of you have issues with soy. Oh no, what did Melinda just say? It just went away. Hold on. Melinda said tofu always resembled out of date and expired sour cream. Well, it would if you just opened the package and just tried to eat it. There's literally nobody on the planet that needs to just open the package and just try to eat it. It's so good when it's properly prepared that you just got to do it. And I just realized I did not bring any tongs over here. Let me grab some real quick. And we may just make it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab one. Well, no, we got 1 minute left. I'm just afraid I'm going to start coughing again. So what are your questions while I'm trying to not cough? That's not working so well. So since it looks like I'm going to start coughing again, if you're watching this later on YouTube and you somehow have made it through this entire thing without going, oh my gosh, stop coughing, then please let the next video roll over, which I promise is not coughing, and subscribe and click that little bell. And I will try to stop coughing long enough to, this may or may not work, but I'm going to try it for you because it's good. Come on, coughing, stop for just a second. Stop for just a second. Deborah said, what's the best name brand tofu? So, I like Miso. I also, because it's readily available, and I also like the Miso wonton wrappers and their egg roll wrappers. Okay, let's try this real quick before I start coughing again. I know you're thinking too late, you're already coughing. Okay, so here's some yummy tofu. Put a couple of pieces out. I don't know if y'all can see how crispy that. Now, it's not crispy like fried chicken, okay, but it's pretty crispy. I mean, can you see that? How pretty and brown that is? And I'm going to put it in just a little bit of the EGGSTRA sugar-free miso. And then that will probably be it for tonight. So I don't start coughing again. Okay. So we have air fryer tofu. Yeah, Carol, it is pretty much that nice tofu. And sugar-free Asian miso, which is the EGGSTRA sugar-free Asian miso. Is 2 points for 2 tablespoons. It does look like a homemade potato wedge. Doesn't taste like a potato. Before I even got it in my mouth. Oh, it's so good. Okay, I love tofu anyway, but this is so perfect. This is so perfect from the air fryer. And this EGGSTRA miso. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is the bomb. You're going to have to find this. Okay, so I'm getting ready to start coughing again, so I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all good night. Somehow Dusty has slept through all of the coughing, but y'all have a great evening. Please watch this later on YouTube, and please forgive all of the coughing. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. I'm going to rush home and see what John and Alyssa are up to. Hopefully they're up to going to bed. But y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Good night.